Hi everybody! If you don't know me already, my name is Kaylee. I'm a gut health nutrition coach and I help people to overcome their chronic gut and digestive issues using the principles of ancestral nutrition as well as some other holistic health principles. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can support your detox pathways, which is how you can detox the right way. So what I mean by detox the right way as opposed to the wrong way is some people go about detoxing where they start doing different things to upsurface toxins that have lodged deep into various tissues in their bodies over the year, and they upsurface these toxins and they start getting moved through your detox pathways. But if you do this without making sure your detox pathways are flowing and working properly first, then sometimes your body can't get rid of these toxins that you just upsurfaced. When this happens, you can get what's called a Herx reaction, which is basically just flu-like symptoms, headaches, rashes, and all that fun stuff that you really don't want. So this is where you can get those people saying that detoxing is uncomfortable, or if it's uncomfortable, you know it's working, which really isn't true, because if it's uncomfortable, it means you're not getting rid of the toxins. So detoxing is supposed to be something that you actually don't really feel that much of an effect from immediately after it. Obviously, long term, it helps your health a lot. But yeah, so when I'm talking about the right way, I'm really talking about understanding how your body functions, how your body gets rid of toxins, and how you can best support those pathways, which are the colon, liver, lymphatic system, your organs, cells, and tissues. So I'm going to be talking about that in this video. Last week, I talked all about toxins, toxin sources, what are the most common places that we're exposed to toxins, how they affect your health and your gut health negatively, and how you can decrease your exposure. So today I want to talk about how you can actually get rid of toxins that have accumulated in your body over years, and then also how you can keep your detox pathways open and flowing and working really effectively so that when you are exposed to more toxins, your body will get rid of them quickly and easily. This is not going to be any kind of fad cleansing juice detox sort of thing at all. These are going to be very natural things, diet, lifestyle kind of principles. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. And these kind of principles are super helpful if you have gut issues of any kind. Like I talked about last week, toxins are horrible for leaky gut, autoimmune diseases, Crohn's disease, anything like that. So working on your detox pathways is huge for healing. And before I get too far into this video, I want to let you guys know I have some space open in my program, Ancestral Gut Healing, right now. So if you're interested in healing your gut issues at the root and you want some help with how to do that, then my program is likely a great fit for you. And if you're interested in it, I'll talk a little bit more about it at the end of the video. But yeah, back to drainage pathways and detoxing. So our body detoxes kind of like a funnel. So toxins and waste from our cells are going to be dumped into the organs and tissues. Toxins from the organs and tissues and the cells will then be moved into the lymphatic system. Then from the lymphatic system, they will move to the liver, and from the liver, they will be moved to the colon. And finally, the majority of toxins are going to get out of your body in your stools. So that is one reason that it is so important to have regular bowel movements. Now there's a few other ways that toxins can get out of our body. That is the skin, kidneys, which goes into the urine, and then our lungs and breathing. So those are a few different ways. Oh, and skin is through sweating, or sometimes you can break out and stuff like that, which is usually a sign that something's wrong. So sweating is more the way the toxins would get out in a healthy way. So yeah, anyway, there are those other things, but the majority of it is going to be in that funnel, which is cells, organs and tissues, lymph, liver, and then your colon. So when we're talking about working with our bodies to detox, what we want to do is we want to work from the bottom up of the funnel. So we want to start with your colon and make sure that you are having full, complete bowel movements daily or near daily. It just has to be normal for you. So for me, once a day is pretty darn normal. Occasionally I go twice a day. Occasionally I skip a day. That's my normal. That's when I feel light. I feel like I've fully emptied and I feel good. Some people, it's going to be 2 or 3 times a day is their normal. So you have to kind of get to know your body and make sure you're just fully eliminating and not holding on to a bunch of stuff. So if you're having trouble with that, we can work on the colon. So that is where you have to start, okay? So also, I'm gonna link below an article I have that kind of corresponds with this video that is all about how to detox your body. But in the article, there'll be a list of like symptoms or signs that each drainage pathway is blocked. I just don't want to make this video too long, so I'm going to go a little bit more brief over that in the video. But if you just want a quick list where you can look through common symptoms of blocked colon, liver, lymph, all the good stuff, you can click on that article and you can just look down that. But for colon, it's kind of obvious if you're constipated, it's blocked. So, okay, so I'm going to go over things to support colon drainage, from the like most mild things you can do to the stronger, more like heavy detoxing things that you can do. So for colon drainage, what you can do is you can hydrate. Super simple. Drink water, make sure you're getting minerals in. That's very important for regular bowel movements. Also, having a routine. I talk about this all the time because it's so important, but having a solid routine for having your bowel movements. For most people, this is going to be in the morning. You need to give yourself relaxed time to go on a regular basis, and it's good to have that be at the same time or around the same time each day. Talk about that in a lot of my other constipation videos, so I won't go into that too far. But yeah, sitting in a squat-like position can also help you to have more regular bowel movements. You can just squat on the toilet, or you can get one of the squatty potty things. Avoiding gut-harming foods is going to be really important here too. Finding your fiber sweet spot. So most people with constipation need to decrease their fiber a bit in order to have more regular bowel movements, because too much fiber just adds so much bulk to your stools, and if you're already backed up and you're adding more bulk, it's just going to make you even more backed up. But some people do find that if they go no fiber or practically no fiber, increasing a tiny bit can help. So I just say find your fiber sweet spot. For most people, that's going to be decreasing your fiber though. Managing stress. If you're stressed, you're not going to be in the parasympathetic state. You're not going to be able to relax enough to open your sphincter and have a bowel movement, because sphincters, like your anus, only really open when you're relaxed, and when you're stressed, they tighten up and make it that much harder to have a bowel movement. Exercising and moving your body is also key. Having enough magnesium and also just other minerals that help support the proper like fluid retention in your colon, and making sure that that's balanced properly. Okay, so all of those are pretty darn basic things that you might already be doing or can incorporate pretty easily to make sure you're having a regular bowel movement. But then the few things that I have for more intense cleansing, which means they shouldn't be done super, super often, would be coffee enemas or other enemas. So that is really good when you're kind of getting out of being constipated and you're healing and you want a little bit extra to help with that. They're also really good for liver detox too. Yeah, so you can do enemas. I wouldn't do it more than about once a week probably for most cases. You don't want to become dependent on them. If you do them too often, your colon muscles can get weaker. And then once a week, like for a little while, and then I would definitely take a break after probably like 2 or 3 months. It depends on the person. But yeah, this isn't something to do all the time. It's a deeper cleansing activity. Colonics, so that's going to be pretty much the same, except for you go into a place and have a professional person help you do basically an enema, but it's a little bit more like, I don't know, it's a little bit different than an enema. There's a little bit more going on. And then you can also do bowel moving supplements, but this again is something you don't want to do super often. If you're doing like a really deep cleanse and you want to really flush things out, that's okay to use sometimes, but you definitely want to avoid using them that often, especially if it's something stronger like senna, or you can develop a dependence on it. So if you're going with me here, working through the detox pathways, if your colon is blocked, start doing some of these things to unblock it. If you are just going through a deeper cleansing period and you want to do a few extra things, you can add some of the enemas or colonics or the bowel moving supplements for this cleanse, but be aware those are things that shouldn't be done super frequently. Yeah, and then otherwise, once you got that going well, you can move on to the liver. So if at any time during your detoxing you become constipated, you want to stop the other things and just work on your colon again, because you don't want to be upsurfacing toxins that you can't get rid of because you're backed up. And when you are backed up, as water is being absorbed out of your stools in the colon, toxins will be absorbed too. So yeah, it really doesn't work well. And one other note that I probably should have said at the beginning, but oh well, I'm saying it 10 minutes in. If you are pregnant or breastfeeding, you also don't want to be doing this. Now you'll notice some of the things I said for colon are like hydrating and exercising and having a bowel movement routine. Of course you can continue to do those things, but like the enemas and the bowel moving supplements, things like that are things you want to avoid. You don't want to detox while pregnant or breastfeeding because you can expose your baby to the toxins. But prior to being pregnant, detoxing is a wonderful thing to do because it gets the toxins out of your body before the baby comes in, so then you're not exposing them to as many toxins. So yeah, but if you're pregnant or breastfeeding now, you want to wait till you're done with that to be able to start doing the detoxing. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I will move on to the liver now. Just wanted to see what my notes said here. Okay, so for your liver, things you can do to help support your liver drainage, which is basically going to be your liver's making bile. The bile goes to the gallbladder to be stored, and then when you eat fatty foods, or sometimes acidic or bitter foods can also trigger this, you will get a release of the bile from the gallbladder into your intestinal tract. So this bile flow is really what we're talking about when we're talking about liver drainage, because toxins from the lymphatic system that go into the liver will then be put into the bile and into that flowing process to get back into the colon and be released. So we want really good bile flow. We do actually want a little bit of fiber in our diets. Again, this comes back to finding the fiber sweet spot, because if you go too overboard, you can get constipated. And you can get gassy and all these other things. But anyway, you want a little bit of fiber because it'll help bind to bile, which will make you get rid of it in your stools. Otherwise, your body will start to reabsorb the bile and reuse it over and over again. So we do want to kind of force our body to make new bile to make sure we're really getting rid of those toxins. So fiber can help with that. So that's one of the things you can do. We also want to be eating animal fats so that we are stimulating that bile flow. We're telling our gallbladder to release the bile. So that's helping things to flow again. You can drink hot water with apple cider vinegar or lemon juice. That will also stimulate bile flow. Reducing toxin exposure will help here as well. Limiting alcohol and tobacco. Eating a nutrient-dense diet is key because our liver has what's called phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification, and both require a huge long list of nutrients to function. So eating a nutrient-dense diet, eating liver like Hills like, is going to be really good here too. Let's see what I have. Okay, so those are more like basic things. Oh, also like bile's made of cholesterol, so eating some cholesterol is good because it'll help you make new bile. But okay, so more intense detoxing things now, because those are all pretty mild. You can make GAPS shakes, so you can look up the recipe if you want, but it's from the GAPS diet, and it's basically juice, I think it's egg yolk and some kind of fat, and sometimes people will put cod liver oil in it. So basically it's a shake designed to help your bile get flowing well. So that's a really good thing that you can do, especially if you struggle with like bile sludge or gallstones or things like that. This can be really helpful. So then you can also drink a liver detox tea. So I like to make my own, but you can also buy them. They're usually made of dandelion root, burdock root, things of that nature that help to stimulate bile flow because they're bitter, and bitter is another one of those things. Also, like eating bitter foods can help too. So like bitter greens. You can take an ox bile supplement if you want to. That's another thing that can help. Castor oil packs, you can do those. You can look up how to do it if you want to, but it's basically like a pack that you put warm castor oil on and then you put it on your liver. You can take binders if you want, so that's going to be something like let's see, activated charcoal or like spirulina or chlorella or things like that. You want to take them away from meals so that they don't bind to minerals though. This is optional, you don't have to do it, it's just one option for cleansing. You can also do coffee enemas. That stimulates this big like bile purge from your gallbladder. So that is another thing that you can do. And if you're wanting to work on colon and liver with one kind of more potent strategy, that's a really good one. And that's something that you do actually usually feel a little different after you feel a little lighter. You do feel very cleansed from. And then you can also, if you are overweight, if you're holding on to extra fat, losing fat is really great for detoxing. Detoxing helps you lose fat. Losing fat helps you detox. They go hand in hand, but we store a lot of toxins in our fat and in our joints too. So by losing fat, that is a really good way to help you to detox. And if you've struggled to lose fat in the past, detoxing will make fat loss easier, because if you're just too overwhelmed with toxins, your body won't want to burn that fat because it'll add more to the toxin burden that it has. So by flushing out other toxins, sometimes you'll notice that your body's just ready to let go of more, and then you can actually start losing fat a lot easier. When I first started working on all of this and detoxing, I had like gained a little extra weight, so I was about like 10 pounds heavier than I wanted to be. So I was 163 and I dropped down to 148 in about 4 months of doing this, and it was like effortless. So this definitely helps with weight loss. Okay, so if you're going through this, you did your colon's good, you're having regular bowel movements. And if you're starting out at a place with regular bowel movements, you can just start with liver. That's totally fine. But yeah, so you've done a few liver things for a few weeks, and now you want to move on to your lymph. So you can do deep breathing. Again, that's very basic. You can do that at any time. You don't have to wait. Avoid wearing clothes that are tight, especially things like bras that are really tight right here. That will cut off the lymph flow right there. Things that are tight around your stomach, like tight elastic things. Yeah, just anything like that is not great for your lymph system. Make sure you exercise and move your body. Your lymph doesn't have a pump like your cardiovascular system, so it gets flowed by you moving it, by you doing dry brushing and things like that. So yeah, exercising is great, especially if you sweat. Sweating is excellent for detoxing, and it's really good for your lymphatic detoxing too. So anything that gets you sweating is amazing. Hot and cold showers or exposure is also going to be really helpful. Dry brushing, Epsom salt baths, lymphatic massages, gua sha, and regular and infrared saunas are all going to be great for your lymphatic system. Okay, so now with your organs and tissues, just getting adequate sleep is going to be really helpful here. Sweating, taking binders, Epsom salt baths, and sauna will all help here. And then when you move on to cellular, there's not that much, but you can get sun, eat a nutrient-dense diet, and then you can do red light therapy if you want to as well. So yeah, these are the steps. As you can see, a lot of these things like deep breathing, wearing clothes that aren't too tight, you can start at any time. That's why I listed them in this order of like more moderate to deeper cleansing. But for those deeper things, the things that get you really sweating, the things that really stimulate a big bile purge, those kinds of things you want to wait and make sure you're doing in order. If at any time you have like a flare up in your symptoms, or you get like a rash or headache or sick or anything like that, you want to stop and just ease off. That just means you went too quickly. If you follow this order and you go slower, you really won't run into that issue and you don't have to worry about it, but it's just something to be aware of so that you make sure you are going at a pace that is okay for you. So for this, I would recommend, if you've never done something like this before, to go through this funnel and opening everything up. And in doing so, do some of those deeper detoxing things. So like you might do some coffee enemas, like one every week, and then like 2 weeks later, add some saunas and dry brushing in, or if you don't have a sauna, that's fine. You can do something else. I don't have one. It would be lovely to have one, but yeah, if you do have one, that's an amazing detoxing tool. So yeah, I would recommend doing those sort of deeper things at first, just to really open this up, and you can do like a little 2-month thing, yeah, to really get things flowing well. Then after that, I'd really just make sure you have a lifestyle that supports these things. So making sure you're doing the lighter things. So if you're eating a nutrient-dense diet, if you're avoiding toxins, if you're eating liver, if you're eating some animal fats, if you're having detox tea on occasion, if you are exercising regularly, if you're getting sun, all of these things help you to detox. So if you've already opened everything up and then you live a healthy lifestyle like that and you minimize your toxin exposure, you're going to do amazing. And it won't even feel like you're doing a detox protocol or anything like that, because you're just living a healthy lifestyle that supports healthy detoxing. So I would recommend doing something like that. And then if you want like once or twice a year, fall and spring is a great time to do this. You can do one of those deeper detoxes again, where you go through this and you do some of those deeper things. That is an excellent way to just kind of make sure you're staying on top of it and getting a little bit extra. It also really helps prevent you from getting sick. So it's really nice to do in the fall, right before people start to get sick. Interesting thing when you're sick is it's actually a detoxing thing too. If you are having a fever, that's detoxing. If you are throwing up or having diarrhea, that's pretty detoxing. So even if it's not fun and it's painful, it is a form of detoxing. But if you do all these things, you can avoid having to get to that point in the first place. Let's see, what else do I have? That's kind of the gist of it. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of how I recommend opening your drainage pathways and supporting detox and upsurfacing any of those toxins that have stored over your lifetime so far. Of course, this is very personalized too. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. This is just the general overview. But if you want more help with this and how to navigate it for yourself, especially if more complicated situations, if you have gallbladder issues, gallbladder sludge, if you have really sluggish lymph, if you have really bad constipation, you want that extra help with this, that's absolutely something I can help you with. Detoxing is part of what I do in my program that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. So yeah, I mentioned I would talk a little bit more about that. So basically, my program, Ancestral Gut Healing, is designed to help you heal your chronic gut and digestive issues at the root. So I use principles of ancestral nutrition and some other holistic things to help you with that. So in it, I give you a proven roadmap to heal your gut. This has helped a lot of my clients to heal in as little as 2 or 3 months. Everyone's a little bit different, but it can help you heal really quick. These are the fundamentals of what you need to do to heal your gut, how you need to eat to heal your gut, what to eat, what to avoid, how your digestive system works, and all that good knowledge to help you feel really confident in what you're doing. Now, I also give you a personalized strategy and action plan. We have one-on-one strategy sessions where we come up with this. I go over the root causes of your issues, and then I give you a plan that will work with your lifestyle to achieve your goals and overcome your symptoms. And then throughout the whole program, I am checking in with you and keeping you accountable to help you navigate any roadblocks, help you stick to the plan, and really just help you to achieve your goals. So there are group calls, there is messaging involved, and I really am just there for you to help you on this journey. So it's really just a program designed to help you heal your gut issues at the root and get you feeling energized and good and amazing as soon as possible. So if that's something you're interested and you want to hear more about, I will leave a link below to book a call with me if you want. And on that call, you can tell me more about what you're going through gut health wise, what your goals are. I can tell you more about the program. We can see if it's a good fit. So yeah, I would love to talk to you if that's something you're interested in. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, anything like that helps me out a lot.